Well, hello and welcome to IRL F3 round 1, and we're starting at Britain. I'm gonna be your commentator today, Sondre Sorhaug. I am joined by Brandon Glover.
Hello there.
And we're having rain in Quali. What do you take from that?
Well, it's gonna it might mix up the field. Depends how people can adapt. Have they got any setups? Have they practiced in the wet? It might show who hasn't really. Whoever takes pole or performs well.
Very true there, very true there. It's gonna be interesting to see. Obviously, making it wet, we could possibly see someone else mixing up inside within the top drivers too. Well, I remember last season in F2, we had Charlie Sampson who struggled to stay with the quickest guys in the dry, but as soon as it turned wet, he was suddenly up there.
Well, we've already got some people going out. Billy Mossum is the first guy out. So he's the first guy to set a lap, unless he spins or something like that. So we'll see what he can do.
Billy, he's gonna be the first one here, and no game sound.
We've also got the Mercedes out, we've got Martin out, as well as quite a few people coming out now. But when I saw this weather, I also noticed that if you hover over someone who's in the pits, you can see that the clouds aren't really that heavy, it's quite sunny, so maybe it's going to end up going dry at the end of this whole session. I'm surprised if it did.
Well, one thing for sure, that would be interesting.
Yeah, last few minutes, track drying quickly, the last guy to cross the line, could get pole. With Billy now,
True.
comes into the last bit, I'll start his lap.
And we are gonna follow that lap for the Ferrari driver, the lone Ferrari driver today, as he's coming around the last corners here,
See what he can do.
and over the line, and away we go. Into the first corner, is he gonna dare to take it flat?
How much does he lift? Oh, he lifts a lot, okay.
And he went up to 8th before the corner. I think that was a big mistake there.
Yeah.
And I think we should move over to Thomas then,
Try and
as
catch,
he
I think.
has... Yeah, that is Thomas.
Thomas, yeah. He's not
One
on
of
the
his
list, so
many gamer tags. Well, he went a
So
little wide
already
in
started
turn
a lot
1,
better than
2,
Billy.
but he's at least still on his lap as we see him going through these next corners then. Gotta say, this game sound glitch gotta be fixed at some point.
Have you got
Yeah.
the glitch? What's happening?
No game sound. I can kinda hear some speakers in the background.
Brilliant. Maybe try going the
But,
settings and turn up
yeah.
if that'll help.
I tried
Anyway, try and
to
catch
push
into the
pause and go back.
S's. Seems to be pretty
That's...
clean lap at the moment.
It seems clean.
Goes down to
It
4.
hasn't looked like the quickest lap, but...
Yeah.
Obviously he had that first corner that didn't
He's
look
getting the
perfect,
backer.
but... It looks alright so far.
Yeah.
Obviously this guy will probably be one of the best as they go into Stove.
A yellow flag out there. I think that was... No, it's Billy Mossel. I think he spun again. He was a 147. Sounds quite slow.
Yeah, well, with that off in the
Thomas,
first corner,
yeah,
but
7
Thomas with a, what is it, 39.9? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
I
Let's
saw
see.
the Renault of Michael Marlowe. He went off at the S's. I think he might have been letting someone through though. I wasn't 100% sure what was happening. Oh, he runs wide again. He's struggling out there. This isn't going to be... He's just about to finish his lap. see what he does.
And it
Yeah,
will
very
be a
slow.
48, 47. What about Luke
Being validated
Baker?
though.
He's coming out of the S's now.
Yellow flag. Who is that?
No idea. It's in Sector 1, so
Yeah.
could be
Oh, Luke
Marlowe.
Pitts, okay.
Alright, Baker into the pit, so no lap there.
Must have put a minimal amount of fuel into his car.
And it
Usually you want
looks
to
like
fuel up your car. Oh,
both
Carl Anderson's gone off.
the McLarens has also done a lap so far, but it looks like
Yeah.
they might have had a few mistakes on their laps.
I don't know what Carl Anderson's doing. He's all over the place at the moment. He's off the track. He's still off the track. What's
Well,
he doing?
he's hitting second so far at least, but
Yeah. Mercedes
I
won
gotta
too.
say though, I see a few people who hasn't been out of the pit yet, and well, I see both
Yeah.
the alphas going out now. But that makes me wonder if it's going to dry up or not.
Yeah. Carl Anderson was really struggling out there. This whole lap, every corner he's been off somewhere.
Michael Marlowe's been struggling a little too, but
Yeah.
it looks like he's going to finish this lap, and it will probably be better than the last one. What's interesting to see though is that he isn't using hot lap, he's only using high.
Yeah. It's interesting. You know, I've seen Shane now. He's coming around the final corner. He's completely run out of ERS. So
Ooh, and Marlowe with a
he's in
49
five.
lap, so there was a lot of mistakes on that lap then.
Yeah.
What about
Seems
the
to be struggling.
Alphas? Who's starting their lap first? That would be Longfield. As he's coming through the first two corners, and that looked very nice and tidy actually.
Yeah. Hits the apex. Turn 3 into turn 4. Gotta try and get a good exit off the straight if possible. He
It
seems to have hooked quite nicely.
looks pretty good right now.
See what his time is for the sector. 31.3. I'm not sure how that relates to others.
I am not either, and especially not in the wet.
Yeah. So we've still got Yigamal in the pits. He hasn't come out yet. Yellow flag, who is that?
True.
Might have been someone letting someone else through.
Shane just letting Longfield through before Cops, then into the S's. Probably one of the hardest places in this weather.
Oh,
I
Cal
know
Hansen runs wide there at Cops Corner. We did put a notion
and
on
I
saying
gotta
if you run
say,
wide there in Stowe, then get a penalty. But second time
either
seeing me run that.
Longfield has very good control over his car right now, or he went slowly through those S's. But I gotta say, it
Yeah.
looks like this lap is gonna be good. As he's coming
Cal
up
Anderson
to
is
the
really
last
revving his engine.
corners. Can he beat a 39.9? He can't. What will he do? It's a 41 flat.
1 second, wow.
What about the other Alpha? That should be coming out of the SS right now. That would be Halvor,
Michael Marlowe
last
is off
week's
again. He's really
winner.
struggling.
Into Stowe.
Oh,
Loses the
oh
back
my.
end, but
Good
keeps
save.
it. He's gonna complete his lap, but I think he's probably lost a lot of time in that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be too bad of a lap time anyway. It's gonna be a 40.2.
Wow, even with that mistake, that's a good lap.
That is
So he's
interesting.
definitely able to get pole if he books a lap perfectly.
As
Thomas
Luke
though has just
Baker.
started another lap. See if he can improve on his time.
We've put our cameras on Luke Baker now, as he is one of two drivers without a lap time yet. Mercedes 1-2 from Callum. Could happen.
Yep.
They are one of 3 teams, I believe, today that can get a 1-2.
Thomas, currently on pole position, is just up on his time in sector 1, so he's going for it again.
Interesting. Luke coming out of the S's right now. I think he's a little too far behind to challenge the front runners for the moment. True stove.
Ooh.
Nice and tidy at least. Just a few more corners and over the line. It looks like he went a little deep there. But what will it be? 41, 42, 42.6, which puts him 9th
Thomas
at the
still up on his time. He's in sector 3 now. Stowe. 1/10 up.
See then.
Don't run wide. Oh, it's a bit wide. That's fine though. We're excessively wide. There you go, down to first gear there. I wouldn't do that. Around the final corner.
I wouldn't go below third there, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, wow. He found a lot of time in that final.
And he smashes the time there.
Brilliant look.
And I believe Jägermal is the last one who hasn't done a lap yet, and he's out on a lap right now.
Yeah. He was very late to come out of the pits, so I don't know what he's doing, but he's finally out now. See what he can do. Into Cop's corner. Not really pushing. You know, he's nowhere near as fast as the others. Don't think he'll be challenging the fronts. He's got a yellow flag. Oh, that's Billy Mossum. He's gonna be on the grass. But still, he's still there. Now he's back on track. He's gonna pit, I think. Here he is.
Alright,
See if
alright.
Mal comes into the same bit. See what he can do.
And Jägermal into the pit. Interesting.
Okay then. Interesting. Who have we got out on track?
James.
James, yep.
He's out and he's on a lap. And hello, Marshall. And no, I won't. James. Would say James is underperforming a little in quali so far.
Possibly he's only 1.6 off. I think that lap for Thomas
that's quite a lot at this point. I mean, we do expect James to be up there with Thomas and Halvor, but he's a little behind now. So we'll see on this lap though. I will have to assume that he's done a mistake on his previous lap. As he's coming to the last two corners. Final corner. This is gonna be a lot better, and it's a 39.6, and that's what I'm talking about. That's more like it.
He heard you, Sondre. He was pushing there.
Oh, he answered my prayers. What about his teammate, Marnkin? He's just started this lap actually.
Yeah, he's 2/10 down on his time after sector 1. So unless he has quite a good sector 2 and 3, I don't think he's going to be moving up the order. We've got a yellow flag.
Interesting. Look at Thomas. He's checking out the dry tires right now.
Is he? I didn't. Wait, let me.
Ooh, as Martin goes wide in cups. Almost losing it. Can't imagine that he... Ooh, as he... and that is his lap over. Well, Martin, get into the pit. You have another go. You will have another go before the end.
He's got time. Jägermal come back out now. Hopefully that should complete a lap this time.
What about Michael? He's out. He's currently up on his time, I think it said.
Oh, he nearly loses it. He's 1/10 up, but sorry, 1/10 up. We lost quite a bit. Jägermal is off the track.
Oh, Marlowe through the S's. Very wide on the exit, but it works out.
Still 1/10 up. Oh no, he's just lost time actually in the back split.
Well, I don't know. I don't think his last sector has been good so far, so...
Let's see. He runs a bit wide. That should be
bit
okay.
wide.
But we're excessive.
Excessively.
This is the apex. See what you can do. Can he move up?
It doesn't look like the best final two corners
Don't think he
there, and
is.
it's not. It's going to be a slight improvement.
Yeah.
Shall we see anybody else? I believe Halvor should be the only one on a lap right now, and look at this. Thomas is going out on medium tires.
What is he doing?
He is really taking a gamble here.
It's still raining. It hasn't stopped raining. There's no reason why you would do that.
No idea. I think he might have
Thomas
gotten
got
in the way.
good penalty. He's got a 5-face good penalty.
Oh, well, that's one way to
Where's
do it.
Where is he? Where will he find him?
I think he might have obstructed Halvor on his lap too.
Interesting. Anyway, let's go on board with his lap. Oh, he runs wide. Yeah, it's not time for dries. Come on, Thomas. What are you doing? What's he doing? I'm just
Halvor nonetheless
dries.
starting a lap
he's
now.
He's now got a 5-place good penalty. It's their fault. He shouldn't have came out on these dry tyres.
Yeah, no, that's his own fault.
And he runs wide, yeah. No point watching his lap. Billy retires.
Billy retires, not the best quality by him today. Halvor in the first sector, what will he do? It's gonna be a 31-2, and he's 6,000ths off on his time, so... Ooh, and that cut might have been invalidated. Looks like he's still trying to push. He's not pushing
Thomas
on this lap anymore.
Thomas has gone off again on them dries. Oh, he's going to spin it again.
He's
really struggling.
Igmal has one lap to do it on now.
Yeah, and he's done. See what Igmal can do.
And right now it is James in pole, ahead of Callum and Halvor. Gigamal coming up to Stove now. Doesn't look too confident into Stove here.
Into the final section of corners.
And the lap won't be the best, I can already see that.
Oh, he invalidated, unfortunate.
Unfortunately for him, he did, yeah. But there are some drivers out.
Struggling there. This back end. Oh, he's gonna just not save that from spinning round. So yeah,
did he make it to the line to actually do another lap?
Yeah, he did. He's 2 seconds down his time though, so I doubt he's going to be improving. Got Callum. What can he do? Could he snatch pole here off James? Yeah, he's only got improved by 3/10. He hasn't got to get P1 and the qualified start.
But you gotta remember James is also out here on a lap currently, so... Smarten Kingdom is happy with his 5th place in quali. What about James?
Just thought I'd let you know in the comment section we've got Reading FC. I don't know which driver that is, but
that would be Marlowe.
He said pray for late safety car and late dry tyres in the race. So is it going to be wet in the race? That's fine.
Baker and Longfield both have retired. Calm has retired, so it looks like it's only James left doing a lap, and Halvor if he's able to improve on that lap. Oh, and James spins it. And it's not going to be an improvement for him. What about Halvor? Into the final 2 corners, over the line. It's going to be 40.8 and not an improvement.
That's an interesting qualifying session, you know. But obviously the big news is the 5-place penalty for Thomas.
Yeah, he really. I gotta say, he really threw away the first pole of the season.
Yep.
he would have had
Yeah,
that.
all he had to do was come out on inters, and he probably wouldn't have got that. Why did he come out on dries? I don't know.
Uh,
It's not like it was even drying up.
I have no idea.
Crazy. Anyway, Shane's on pole from Callum. TJ, Martin, and Thomas will start P6.
Interesting. Wow. Ooh, and look at this, Bran.
It's full wet, isn't it?
Rain in the race too.
Yes,
Round one, and we're already getting a full wet race.
Billy Mossum's just put in the PSN chat. He used some interesting language, maybe I can't say, but he said he's on a dry setup.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that is not gonna be fun for him. And I know that I've done this track on a dry setup, and that's pretty much as horrible as it can be. It can work for a few laps, but the major issue I had when I drove here on a dry setup in rain was pretty much that you burned out your rear tires so quickly.
I hope you don't get bogged down off the line.
Hopefully we'll avoid the restart carnage we got in F1 yesterday. You remember that, Brand, didn't you? Don't you?
I can't remember.
You know when we wasn't allowed to do our formation lap and had to restart twice.
Oh yeah, and then you went wide and went from like 5th to last. That was quite funny. But anyway, we'll ignore that.
True. Traumatic memories.
So, do you want to run through the grid? I did this last week.
Run us through the grid, Brand.
I will. It's James on pole position. First pole of the season. Callum Anderson in second place in the Mercedes. He's going to be wanting to win this race. Full wet start. He could get a good start. He could get a bad one. TJ, last week's pre-season winner. Again, he's going to want to move forwards. Martin, I'm assuming this is going to be quite a good quali for him. He's probably going to want to keep his P4. Moving forwards to be even better. Lang fell. That's right. Can't remember what happened with him last week, but seems to be a good result. But Thomas is not going to be happy in P6. He was the fastest driver, so he's definitely going to be moving through the field. Luke in P7 in the Williams. Shane in P8 in the Red Bull. Luke and Shane are both on their own today. Got no. Oh, and Luke Sport. Okay. Billy in P9 Ferrari. Michael Marlowe in P10. He was struggling quite a bit in the rain in qualifying. He said in the chat that he's not really good in the wet, and Yigamal didn't set time, so he can only go forwards, you'd think. Well, I hope for him anyway.
Well, and I just had to check, and it is full wet dryer tires. So small chance of it drying up too, I think.
Yeah, I'll look at the back if you want to.
If you could have a look at the back, we have 5 red lights.
Are they gonna go?
And there we go. And it doesn't look like the best start from the 2 front row drivers, but they do keep their positions going into turn 1. Is it gonna be carnage?
It's a little bit.
The first few drivers get through well at least, but we have Martin, who's gotten up to 3rd, and Thomas, who's been able to get up to 4th, so a few drivers losing positions, a few gaining.
Oh, and Luke pushes Yigamal off the track there. He's not going to be happy with that.
Oh, and look at this, Callum Anderson on James on the inside, but James manages to defend, and Callum is currently in the middle of a McLaren sandwich. But to be
It's
fair,
quite a clean start, actually.
it's been quite a decent, clean start. With
So it's
McLaren,
McLaren,
Mercedes,
McLaren,
Mercedes.
there we go, you said it. Oh, and Martin, he nearly spins it, he nearly collects Thomas, that puts Thomas into third.
But it doesn't look
A
like
yellow
Martin has
flag.
any wing damage or
Oh, and
anything,
Michael
so
Marlowe spun. Michael Marlowe
if you can
spun
just
on the
keep
first lap.
going, that third place is still there. Oh, but it looks like, who was that? That was Thomas who... Well, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. I think he might have lost it.
They're 3 wide, are they? No, they're not.
Oh,
Billy
and look
Watson
at
on the
this!
outside of the Red Bull.
Halvor... No, wait. No, yeah, Halvor. On Martin.
Down the inside.
Ah, but he's gonna have to
This is a
settle
big cluster of
behind
cars,
so
look at
far.
this. Wow.
Oh, and look
one
at
more than Thomas.
Shane! Shane getting through, and look at this. Brad. And I think I might have lost my co-commentator there.
Hello, I'm here. Yes.
Are you still in the lobby?
Yeah, I'm still in the lobby.
Oh, it said migrating host for a small moment there, but...
Oh no, I'm still here. I'm still watching, don't worry. Yeah, Michael Marlowe's day has gone from bad to worse. He spun once, he spun again.
Look
Don't know
at...
if he's got damage, but he's 24 seconds. Cal Manson putting James under pressure.
Callum is really putting James under pressure, and that's gotta be refreshing for Callum after pretty much spending all of last F2 season on the back of the grid, not really getting much out of it, to now finally be able to do something and actually putting James under pressure for the leader.
Yeah. Although he has dropped back a bit now, but he's always closed up a lot in the S. He's got a lot more confidence than James in the S, I think.
Oh, and look at this. Martin is pulling a little away from the drivers behind him, sitting in a comfortable P3 at the moment. On the other hand, the battle for fourth is a big scrap right now, where Shane is pressured by Thomas. Thomas does not go for move into stove. Just staying behind for the moment.
Yep.
Oh, and what about Langfield? Oh, and look at Billy. Billy runs wide.
He's gonna get the switch back, easy move, yeah.
Langfield is patient and getting the easy move there. Oh, but he loses the back end out of the exit on the last corner. He's gonna lose the position to Billy into turn one.
Oh, and Langfeld hits the curb, nearly spins it round. And Luke gets past him. Oh, he's gonna get an over and under as Thomas is battling away.
And look at this, Luke and Langfield side by side, and Billy must have had a dreadful exit there as Langfield is once again right on his ass there.
So here comes Luke down the inside, and Langfeld should be a
Luke Baker on the inside, and he makes an easy move there, work, and Langfield is trying to hang it around the outside there.
That's gonna work. Shane
trying to get a good exit.
Oh, and Shane hits the wall. Is he gonna retire? Oh, how didn't he retire? Oh, he just dropped down his own. He's lost his
that is a lucky one.
Yeah. Wow.
10-second time penalty for exceeding.
Just carry on.
Well, if he stays in the race.
Oh, Langfeld spun it. Langfeld spun it. He's off.
But he managed to avoid the ball, I think, so there is no front wing damage.
Oh, we know he's got no front wing, Sondre.
Who?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were on about Shane.
Oh, no, I'm on about Langfield right now.
Yeah, he just went into the gravel.
Oh, and Halvor on Martin in...
Oh, that's gonna squeeze. And he's...
Oh, and Halvor... Big drift there. But he manages to keep it, and he will still be hunting Martin for P3. And it looks like James has dropped Callum right now.
Yep.
Oh, and look at this. Luke is right on the tail of Billy. Both taking a really wide line through turn 2 there.
let's have a look at the position changes and get it up on my screen. So,
we have
biggest
them up
winners,
already.
Jamal and Billy. Biggest losers is Langfeld. So
And Shane.
And Shane, yeah, 3 and 4.
Ooh, and look at this.
Billy, what are you? Billy's through the wall. He just.
Oh,
Okay,
and that is Billy out.
He did that on purpose then. He just drove into the wall on purpose. I don't know why he'd do that, but. Okay. And he's left the session. I don't know, is he angry at an incident or something we haven't seen, or.
Well, I think it sounds very strange if he did it on purpose, considering he was comfortable in sixth there.
He didn't lose the car. Weird. Anyway, that's guaranteed points now for anyone who's still going. So Shane, please carry on.
Shane and both Michaels still here. Still, they're quite a far way behind right now, though. And right now it looks like the battle for third is the most spicy one, with Martin defending from Halvor and Thomas.
We've already seen him rub a little bit. It's Thomas' fast lap.
Oh, and you can see Halvor showing himself there.
Martin's ran wide.
Oh, and Martin looked like he lost the back end a little. Oh, and look at this. Giving each other space. Be careful about that front wing now.
It's going to be slipstream now, down into turn, I don't know, but after the straight, oh, he's lost the back end though, T-Joyce.
Yeah, and he's not going to be close enough. He's actually going to be under attack from Thomas. However, Thomas is a bit too far behind. And look at Callum. He is losing pace to James and Martin now, so starting to go a little downwards for him.
Does a big twitch and Thomas goes down the
inside. Oh no.
Oh, James Martin, he spun it.
Oh no, Martin.
Oh,
thank God there is no front wing damage for the McLaren driver. He's still in it, and he's actually not that far behind these two, so he could get back up to these. And
P3, this is what he wants. Probably gonna get it sooner or later.
And Halvor without slipstream to defend now. Thomas still too far behind to make a move. What about Martin? He's sitting a little in the background now, trying to get back to these two. Looks like Halvor is really struggling in that last few corners. Coming up to turn one.
Thomas runs wide again.
And Halvor losing the back end, and Thomas will go for this. He will take advantage of that.
Oh,
and
Martin's off. He's in the wall. Martin's in the wall.
Oh, but Martin, that is such a shame.
Unfortunate. Oh, he's given up.
Oh, and that is an even bigger shame. There was points for grabs there, Martin. This is not the way to win championships, you know that. Ooh, and Halvor is struggling with that back end now.
Yeah, he is. He's twitching everywhere.
Ooh, it looks like Thomas is struggling a bit with the back end too.
Yeah. I think we're going to see Thomas pull away here and maybe try and catch his teammate,
I gotta say, I think we
haven't really seen him on this race, have we? He's pulled away.
Oh yeah, James has pulled away quite a lot now too. On the other hand, Callum, well, he hasn't tapped the wall or anything, so he still has all his front wing. I think he's just struggling a bit now. Could be worn tires.
So, battles are sort of spread out now. No one, well, what was I say, within DRS range, obviously DRS is not a thing in the way.
As Callum goes a little wide in stove there.
I think
could lead up to a penalty if he continues to do it.
Thomas already caught his teammate there. Look at the pace he's got. Wow. I don't know if Cal made a mistake, but he's caught it very quickly. There we go. That proves it. It's just fast slap.
The two Mercedes drivers, are we gonna see team orders there, Bran?
If I was Callum, I mean, you'd let him through round 1 of the season, you know, and he's evidently got more pace than him. So it's probably a matter of time before.
Well, I think
anyway.
what Callum is really after in this race is probably a podium. If he lets his teammate go, he will still get. He will, yeah, and he lets him go. And with this, he is still in contention for a podium. So the Mercedes drivers are playing this smart. They're playing the long game, the team game.
Oh, Shane overtook Michael Marlowe into the final section of corners. Nice move.
Oh, and it looks like Marlowe is really struggling here.
At last.
It is good to see, though, that these two drivers, even though they are so far behind, they're still going. They know that they will get points for this.
Yeah, exactly. Fair play to them.
And that right there is what can sometimes be a difference between winning a championship and finish second just a few points behind.
So once again, I was going to say they've split out over a second, but Callum just got back on the second on his teammate. I assume that's due to the slipstream.
It looks like
he's going to pull away, I think.
I gotta say, it looks like Callum is not able to keep his pace up that good as the others, but it looks like he's able to follow a little better so that he can up his pace then. But we do gotta say though, Halvor is creeping closer to Callum. In the meantime, a small update from F2 is that Joe Hollis is currently in the lead ahead of Joshua and Jamie Morris. Last season's winner, Jared Fosbury,
Look at the gap
in fifth.
Between P1 and P2. Because, you know, you'd think Thomas is going to start put some pressure on James. Even though the gap is pretty stable at the moment. But he has pulled away from his teammate quickly.
Yeah, well, one thing's for sure. I think up until now, Thomas has pretty much met drivers that he knows he's quicker than. Right now, he's got to catch James, and we saw in quali that James is able to match Thomas. So this is going to be a little more difficult.
Got a yellow flag.
Oh, and look at this, Halvor now getting close to Callum. Only 5 tenths behind. Callum is really struggling through those S's now, and Halvor, he might have a run. Will he go for it? He's a little too far behind into Stove here.
I think we'll see Callum defending this quite heavily. He wants his podium.
Oh, this is the podium position. Callum is not gonna give this one up easy.
Yep. Just 3 tenths between them. Wow. Pace. Look at the pace of Thomas. Another 3 fastest laps in a row. And he's already took a second out of James' lead. Good driving then.
Oh my God, I did not notice that, but a second on James on the last lap. Alright.
Callum ran a bit wide, that's put Halvor right behind him. He's going to go for a move into this corner.
Halvor, he's close. If he can keep the car steady on the exit there, he should have Callum in this next corner. Oh, but this inside is going to turn out to be an outside here, which gonna makes it harder. Callum, both just keeping their line there, and Callum retains his podium for the time being. Good clean racing between the both of them. Oh, and look at these. Are they gonna go side by side? Halvor was thinking about it, but I think he might have backed out right before the corner.
Got to stay close now, the S's, and Halvor should get the slipstream and aim for a move into so corner as Callum. Oh, Callum ran wide, but the exit there was terrible.
Oh, we're not gonna see him move this time.
Maybe next time round. Maybe just to get a good exit.
When, Brandon, when do you think we'll see the first pit stops?
First pit stop. Well, if it's a full wet race all the way through, it'll be on lap 13. Oh, and Halvor down the inside. No, it's not. Yeah, lap 13. It's not the race, I think. Unless someone's like a tyre saving god that can make him last the whole race.
Do you think we could see Thomas or Halvor trying an undercut on the drivers ahead of them?
Well, I don't think the undercut is as effective around here on the wet tyres. You know, we'll have to see. As Halvor's struggling a lot on the exits, and look at the gap between Thomas.
I would say if I were Halvor, he seems to have burned out his rear tires. So if I were him, I would have gone for an undercut on lap 11 or 12.
But look at the gap between P1 and P2, Sondre. 3 seconds.
It's going down, and we are gonna be looking. Oh, and Halvor!
Oh,
that's a half spin.
Yep.
And that leaves Callum well ahead in P3 right now. In the meantime, Halvor will be under pressure from Luke, Egemal, and Langfjell now. If I were Halvor, he seems to be struggling that much with his tire that I would pit now.
The thing is, if you pit now, then your tire's going to be completely dead at the end of the race, and it might force you to do
what I think he should do is he should pit now. When he comes out, he should be taking more care of his tires.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because I mean, the wet tires can do 15 laps. It all depends on how you take care of them. If you keep burning them out on the exits of the corners, then obviously they're gonna be dead a hell of a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But if you take care of them and are careful with your throttle, you can make them last. But he's sticking out on them. In the meantime, look at Callum though. From that horrendous last season he had to sitting in P3 right now.
Oh, Egemal one's wide. He's going to lose position.
Egemal.
Okay.
That's a position lost. And look at the gap between the two front runners. It's not gonna be long until we get a battle. Only question is, will it be before or after the pit stops?
I'd give it, 2 or 3 laps now, and we should see him right on the back. Maybe
I don't know. It kind of depends if Thomas wants to avoid the battle. He could end up pitting before to try to do the undercut to just get clean air and just pretty much just not having to battle him.
1.7 seconds now.
And you can see this. Thomas can see James clear now. And it's not gonna be 3 laps. It's gonna be on. He's gonna catch up on this next lap or the lap after.
1.4 now. He's getting 2 tenths already. Got to turn 1. You can get away with that though. 1.1 seconds. James made a little mistake there. Now 1.0.
The gap is going down quickly. Interesting to see that nobody is trying an undercut or something though.
Yeah. I just don't think it's that effective, to be honest. Maybe
in the wets it can be very effective because it's such a big difference driving on old wet tires and fresh ones.
Yeah.
Like I've done undercuts on wet tires where I've managed to pull back 2 or 3 seconds, so it is effective.
Got Langfjell on the back of Luke. Langfell's got good pace, you know, he's moving through the field quite nicely.
Yeah, Luke's done a good race so far. I would say that everyone who's still in it has done a fairly decent race so far. Most people has had a few mistakes or something, but it's a wet race.
Sondre, I don't mean to concern you or anything, but Lewis Marshall was put in the chat. I think Jamie Morris was doing what he got him banned in PS Chat 2 by letting people just pass to get him back. To let him pass to get him back. Just, I can speak. Letting people pass just to overtake him again. They rage quit or something.
Oh, I guess we will have to look into that.
Oh, we got the first pitter. It's Carl Manson. And let's see what tyres goes on to. It's probably going to be wet. Oh, it's intermediate tyres for Carl Manson. Interesting choice.
That is
Will others
very
follow
interesting.
then? Look at the battle for the lead though. 7/10 of a second.
I will have to just leave you for a short moment, Bran, but I will keep you on the battle for the lead.
Okay. So, battle for the lead, you've got Thomas putting James under pressure. I think one of them will pick this lap, if not both, for the intermediates. Let's see Callum Anderson's times. Let's see if he's closing in on Jägermal. Because if he is, that means it is time to switch. Rain doesn't look lighter. Stabilising at the moment. 8.3, 8.4, so I don't think it's time for Inters. If he can't even be faster than Jägermal, you know, who, no disrespect, is nowhere as quick as the leaders, then I don't think it's time for Inters. Anyway, we've got Thomas. Is he going to go around the outside of James? He is. James defends. Can he hold it? Back out. He's going to push you out wide. Oh, very close there to... We've got James Pitts. Okay. James Pitts. James, you did this last race. Oh my god, James, he breaks so early for the... James breaks so early for the pit lane. That's going to lose him 1 to 2 seconds, you know? He needs to sort out. But anyway, I think Thomas will be going for the overcut here. Again, we've got no battles out on track, unfortunately. Luke is close to Langfell, who actually Langfell got past him. I think we missed that. Unfortunately. Let's see where James comes out. He's going to be ahead of... Yes, he is. He's going to be ahead of Langfell. Oh, it's going to be close. Is he going to be ahead of him? No, he is not. Is he going to be ahead of Jägermal? Yes, he is. Okay. So we've got a bit of clean air. But I think he is going to catch up soon as Cal Manson. Wow, okay, yeah, it's time for Inters now. Look at he's caught by 4 seconds to Jägermal, so I think we could see James getting an undercut now. Thomas out front is 20 seconds ahead of T. Johnny Sorhaug. So I'm going to stay on board with James. Obviously, I know you can't see it, unfortunately. Sondre hopefully will be back soon. This race
you can see him.
There we go. He is back. As James got his time for Inters, James is going to undercut him, Sondre. The Inters are 1 to 2, 3 seconds faster a lap, and he's going to get the undercut on Thomas.
Did Thomas get past before James pitted?
No, they went side by side into Stowe. Thomas just backed out of it. But yeah, James pitted just that. They were very close. I think Thomas would have overtook him if they both stayed up. But yeah, there we go, he's in the pits.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go on board with James. Let's see where he comes out. I think it's going to be close. But he's getting held up by Luke. Unfortunately for him. Let's see. I'm going to go side, but Luke lets him through, okay. Where is... Oh, it's going to be...
Thomas comes out of the pit.
He's overcut him.
And it worked.
That has shocked me. Look at Carl Manson's pace on the Inters. He's the fastest lap of the race. He's closed in 8 seconds to Jägermal. I got past him actually. So did James make a mistake on that lap? That was weird. The
Could
inters
have
were
been.
way quicker. So interesting.
Interesting though to see Halvor still staying out on those wet tires.
Yeah, a few people are actually. But it's evident that the inters are faster, so I don't know why.
Nah. It's a little weird in my opinion, but...
Yeah. Look at James, he's right in the back of him. Through the S's. I think it sounds like Sondre has gone somewhere again, unfortunately. Don't know who he's on board with. Oh, I think he's on
We are still on board with James.
Yeah. Too far back though into this corner to make a move. Early battle on track, unfortunately. That's again. Oh no, sorry. Alder pits. I thought he was going to stay out, but he hasn't. That's put these two back into the lead once again. Where they rightfully should be. The base been brilliant. James, there we go, sets the fastest lap. Shane gets another time penalty. He's picked up quite a few in this race.
And what about Callum? He's gonna be ahead of Halvor.
Wow, he is. Look at that undercut. That is brilliant. Okay, nice. I just don't understand why they didn't pit earlier.
Am I seeing correctly that Halvor has gone on to a new set of wets?
He has. What is he doing?
That is very strange. Are we gonna get more heavy rain again, maybe?
That is possible. But I think putting onto the inters would be better. You'd gain that much time, you'd probably get a pit stop back anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, James
I'm not sure. It could have just been a mistake too.
Yeah, it could be, but interesting. James is falling back from Thomas. .116 seconds. As we've got Callum right on the back of Luke. He should make this move quite easily. Callum's on much faster tyres. Is he going to go down the inside? Just wait, Callum.
Oh no, he's gonna wait, but he sees the opportunity. Looks like Luke is kinda backing out.
Yeah, oh, what's Callum? Oh, is he on a legal overtake? What's he doing? Okay. He must have had an illegal overtake, I don't know why.
Well, you never know, he might have felt that he went a little wide on Stowe there, and maybe he felt that he pushed Luke wide and decided to let him back through to just be on the safe side that he didn't get the position illegally.
True. Okay, so people still staying out on these tyres. On these wet tyres. I think it's obvious that they're just not quick enough. I don't know what's going on through people's heads at the moment. We've got a yellow flag, and that is TG Honest. It's Halvor. It's fresh wet, so already done. He's already spun with his tyres. And he's lost even more time. And he's spun it again. No, he hasn't. He's spun wide. Unfortunate for him. But he was having a good day. But it's all gone now. He spun it again, yeah. Tyres are too hot.
But look at this though. James is coming back at Thomas.
He's a bit too far back as this corner's make a move. One-tenth. I know they're so close. He's going to go for a move. Down the outside goes James. He's going to hold it around the outside. Good move, bit of contact. That's fine. There's Thomas. He's literally pushing around the final corner. Is he going to go for a move into turn one? It's going to have to be brave to do so. He's going for it. Down the inside. James, yeah, he knows what he's doing. had the line.
But there was no way to
James
make
takes
that
the
move
lead,
work. But look at Thomas though, he will be coming back at James. He's looking eager to get that win, especially after that 5-place grid penalty.
James has 50% ERS, Thomas has 100%. So that's interesting. Let's see Moppets. Let's see what tyres he's going to fit into. Yeah, Thomas is falling back, so I think they've got a really similar pace. As we saw in quality, they're 1/10 away from each other on the inters. So,
right now, I think Thomas is just trying to make sure that James uses up his ERS to then make one move to get past and pull away after.
Yep. Oh, James runs wide. Is he going to go for a move into the S's? Thomas is side by side. Who's going to back out? Who isn't? James backs out.
No one's gonna back out, but it looks like it is a move done by Thomas. And what a move into the S's there.
Oh, Halvor's pitted again. He's gone to it. He's realised his mistake and he's gone to it. James right behind Thomas still.
This has probably cost him a top 4 finish today, but
yep.
It happens.
Five tenths between the top 2. I think we could see this battle stay in the race now. And then what pit stops we need to be making, I think.
Well, as they're going right now, I don't see this battle stopping.
Yep. Finally, we've got some more wet runners pitting. Bit late, but you know, better late than never.
On 18 lap, all wet tires in the pit.
Yeah. Oh, James going for a move down the outside. Thomas defends. Round the outside. He's going to get down. He's got the move done. He's got the inside for the next corner. Lovely from James. Can Thomas come back at him? We saw James lose the car a little bit into Cox corner. That's where Thomas got past.
I can't say for sure, but I don't think any of these two have penalties either, so...
I will check.
Please don't.
Okay, I won't tell you, I'll just look for myself.
Okay,
interesting.
Keep it interesting.
Okay. So look at the top 3. And okay. But here we go, Thomas coming back at James. Too far back. James needs to get away, he's got less ERS. Oh, and they both nearly lose out that corner. Bit of a corner cut there from Thomas. Just a little. Actually on to lap 20 out of lap 26 laps. 2 tenths between them. He's got a good run. Is he going to go down the inside? He is. A bit too far back though. He had to back out. Yeah, he rams over the curve. That hasn't helped him. As we are coming up to some laps traffic, that is Michael Marlowe. You better get out of the way. Michael Marlowe disconnected. I think he may have.
But yeah, I don't think he has. He say I would have pitted already though.
Well, he's got an X with his name, but here we go. Thomas down inside James.
Small tap between these two as Michael is trying to get on the inside to give them room to go around. Might have not been the best solution to let them by, but it did try to let them by. Yep.
So I think what Thomas needs to do now is just hold back these S's and get him on the straight. Nice clean run. That's what he needs. Let's see. James did get a good exit. Shane and Michael Marlowe still on those tyres. Shane's obviously a bit newer because he did pit I think on lap 2 due to his spin.
It's gonna be interesting to see how far Michael is thinking about stretching those tires.
Indeed. regulation, he doesn't have to pit. So he could go to the end of the race. But I think that's not the best strategy call.
Well,
oh, Thomas nearly loses the car there.
well, right now Michael will most likely not move up or down in this race, so you never know. On the other hand, Shane is actually an interesting
he moves
case.
down, it's a miracle, so...
Well, yeah, but Shane, on the other hand, that's a little more interesting because Halvor is 18 and a half seconds behind him, so Shane could risk it and try to hold off until the end.
Yeah, but just look at the gap though. Halvor is
going
catching
down
so quickly.
But you gotta remember that if Shane pitted right now, he's losing that position anyway.
Yeah, he should have pitted before then, probably. That's 21, 26, not long to go now. There we go, that proves his pace, or fast lap of the race.
Well, it is a point, so...
8, 9, 10 between them. James pulled away.
I can tell you one thing though, I think we're gonna see Thomas try and get past James and take back that fastest lap.
Probably, but like look at the ERS that Thomas has, he needs to start using it. He's on 92% at the moment as Lucas still a penalty. Meanwhile James has 20%, James has, wow, okay, James is pushing then. 100% compared to 27%.
As I said earlier, you know, there could be tactics trying to get James to burn out all his ERS.
Yeah.
And then go for a devastating move where he can just pull away. I don't know, it should be happening soon at least.
Yeah, 4 cents. He's closed back up a little bit. He's in 0 ERS, come on. Bunk it up, you know, go for it. So everyone's done a one stop, except for 2 people. One of them is Halvor with 2 stops, and one of them is Michael Marlowe with some no stops. So, Justin.
Yeah, and then obviously you have Shane that he has pitted already, but that was very early.
Here comes Thomas on James. James doesn't defend.
Oh, and Thomas, is he gonna make this move? James still on the outside.
Oh, James gives in the squeeze, he's gone off the track, he's ran wide.
And a 10-second time penalty.
Okay, that'll get removed. That will get removed.
Sure, that will most likely get removed.
So I think that was a bit naughty from James. You know, he did move across on the braking. And push him off.
Yeah, a little. Anyway, that will be investigated if Thomas decides to report it, obviously, so I guess we're gonna just have to wait and see what comes from that.
So if Thomas does cross the line in P1, then doesn't mean he won't have a win. It could, that is possible that his 10-second penalty will get removed, as for James, because he could get a penalty. That same instance. That's all speculation.
Definitely. Guess we will just have to wait and see about that. As for right now, this is the only battle we still have. I don't think we'll see any more battles. We might see a small battle between Halvor and Shane, as Halvor is just 9.5 seconds behind Shane now.
Oh, he gets a time penalty, a 3-second time penalty, Thomas. It's not going to help him at all.
Yeah, then it won't help. Then there is most likely no help at all. Yeah. He will have to pass him on track.
Yeah. Unless James does receive something bigger than a 3-second time penalty. Stay in a certain time, obviously. Oh, he runs wide. He's going to lose some time. He's going to be outside of a second, I think. Yeah, he is. Lap 24 now. 3 laps to go.
3 laps to go. 2 drivers still fighting for this win. McLaren versus Mercedes.
Just an update on F2 fuel. They're on the last lap of the race. We've got TNR Dantan wins. Jared Fosby in second. Oh no, he isn't. Next is Iceman jumps in. Apparently he's Jared in third. That was interesting race. But anyway, back to this race. This is not over. This is certainly not far from over, I think.
Oh, it is very far from over. And look at this. Thomas is right on the back of James now.
Here he comes. Definitely, he's going to have to risk it now.
I think Thomas is aware that he will have to do this on track right now.
Yeah, he's going to have to go for it. He's good exit though. He should get a run. He will get a run. James ERS on 14%. He's on 75. On the inside, James again doesn't defend. He prefers the outside line. It's not going to help him. Let's see. He's going to get a better exit. Boy, don't push it off again. Don't see if it was last time. Leave space. He's going to go around the outside. He goes wide again. It's the 3rd time in as many laps, I think.
And that's not going to work like that, Thomas.
2 laps to go.
Quick, Brandon. What do you think? James or Thomas? Who gets it?
It's going to have to be James, isn't it? I think.
I'm going to go Thomas.
Provisionally, it's going to be James. We'll have to see what happens after the race.
I mean, Thomas got to use that DRS. Oh, and yeah, Thomas is using it now. Up into overtake.
Put in hot lap next 2 laps. Put in hot lap next 2 laps.
James barely has any ERS to spend. Thomas has a lot. Thomas isn't using any ERS in the corners.
What's he doing?
He's got to use it.
Yeah, he's got 2 hot laps now. 2 laps.
Hot laps. Yeah, I would just. If I were him, I would have just put it in hot lap and let it stay there.
Well, you don't really use much in the wet.
Oh, and look at this. Look at Thomas.
No, oh my god.
Ooh, a little wheel banging.
Oh, he's letting that through. Yeah, he's got a legal overtake. If you run wide there, you do get a legal overtake.
Well, he will have a new try on the straight there. James doesn't have the best exit. James with pretty much empty of ERS now. Thomas with a lot of ERS. Closing up. He's not close enough. And he should have went for it there. Well, he might have not actually been close enough to go for it there, but still. How it looked for me, he should have gone for it, but of course it could have looked different for him.
Here we go, on to the final lap of this race.
Final lap. And he's in hot lap. Just keep it in hot lap now, Thomas. You don't need to save any more ERS. Oh, and look at this, Thomas down the inside.
Oh, it's contact. He's whacked him.
Oh, a little
James
contact
is going
there.
back
James
for it
is
now. Oh, he's spun it now.
Back, and that is contact.
Oh,
and that is controversial.
3 seconds, that's all you need. 3 seconds. Come on, stay with him, James. Don't do anything stupid. Oh my god. He's got to stay within 3 seconds. All he has to do. And there we go. Thomas in hot lap. That's what I said he needs to do. I think James is stupid there. He went up the inside, but he didn't need to.
He should have. I think he panicked a little. He should have.
Yeah.
He should have just tucked in behind and tried to get him back on the straight there.
Exactly. Got a yellow flag. Oh, it's Luke. He's thrown it away.
Are you sure it wasn't Shane?
Anyway, actually.
No, it wasn't Shane.
No, it's Luke. Yeah, Luke's good. Well, Shane though is right behind. Oh no, so he's been overtaken.
Well, he's actually been passed by Halvor as they're now on to their left.
2.3 seconds, 2.4 seconds. You need to stay within 3 seconds. Obviously,
James is pushing with all he got now.
So James will win, but that's provisional.
That is provisional, that is true.
There we go. So, Thomas wins on track, but James wins provisionally. And he runs out of fuel at the end as well, wow. But more importantly, he was within 3 seconds. I think that's
and Callum Anderson with a pretty quiet race in the end comes over the line to take 3rd place today, and I think he will be all over the moon for that. Then we have Björn Einar Langfjell into 5th, no not 5th, but 4th place over the line. Luke Baker will come home in 5th. And I just realized it was a little further until the line for him than I thought.
Yeah. 30 seconds behind. Got Michael Marlowe coming over the line. B9, 1 lap down, but you know he's got points.
And he finished that race.
Yeah.
On 25, and then and Yigemal takes him on penalty. Then next one over the line should be Halvor ahead of Shane, depending on penalties, of course.
Yep. There we go.
Halvor over the line for 7th.
Shane has a lot of pens actually, yeah, to work on that.
And Shane in 8th. If you could then invite the top 3 to the party, Bren.
I will indeed. You can run through the order. So who is it? Who is the top 3? So we've got try and catch.
And it's a McLaren driver on the top steps so far, at least, out of the 2 Mercedes drivers of Thomas and Callum in 2nd and 3rd. Langfjell in 4th. Then you have Yigemal Johnsen in 5th. Luke Baker in 6th. Halvor Chuntvet in 7th. Shane Callert in 8th. Michael Marlowe in 9th. Then you have Martin Kingdon and Billy Mossam, who both DNF'd in the race, unfortunately. Fortunately, I did not catch exactly what Billy did. Bran had a take on it. On the other hand, we did see Martin spinning it and losing it into the wall and then just deciding to retire, which is a shame because he would have gotten points anyway. But nonetheless, we have at least 2 of the top 3 drivers. I believe that Thomas is, well, maybe his mic, maybe he has his mic back then.
No, I'm here.
Alright, so he has his mic back.
That's important. We want to be able to hear you on stream.
If not, it's just us talking to each other.
Yeah.
So, I'll start with Callum. So, first of all, your mic is on share, right?
Now it is, yeah.
Now it is, yeah. Well, first of all, good race by you today. 3rd place in the end. I guess we could call it a much better start to this season than last season's F2. What are your take on it?
Definitely. Definitely. I think we got more points than I had in the whole of F2 last season.
Oh, I'm not exactly sure about that, but you could be right actually. Well, with that 3rd place though, you actually managed to keep up pretty well with James in the opening laps, but then you fell off. What What happened exactly?
My tyres just weren't cooling down. I tried backing off and to cool them down, but they're just keeping at the same temperature. And yeah, I was just struggling through the S's and yeah, the final sector and that.
Right, fair enough.
So
So tires, pretty much.
yeah,
Nonetheless, though, you found your teammate catching you a little further down the road, and well, we saw some clear team orders there, I believe. Is that how the Mercs are gonna do it this season? Gonna play it all out for the team?
yeah, do it constructors and then we'll obviously try and catch. We'll try and beat drivers.
He'll try and catch you.
Alright, great stuff. Well, what about you then? Great first race for you this season. Well, what is your aim in this championship?
Just to keep there and yeah, I don't know.
Haven't really thought about it yet, I guess.
No, it's just I'm just trying to help the team as much as possible. And just, yeah.
All right. Being a good teammate is always a good thing, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Thomas will be happy with that. Nonetheless, though, good race from you today, so congratulations on your third place. I don't know if you have any more questions for Callum Brun?
Well, I saw that you were the first person to pit for intermediate tyres. Was that just a gamble, or did Jeff tell you to? What happened? What made you come in?
It was a gamble between me and Thomas. I just said, should I pit for inters? Will I go to the end? And he said, yeah. And I just went for it, and it worked out. And yeah.
Not too bad. You had really good pace. You had some fastest laps. So yeah, you had a bit of a boring race, didn't you? I saw
Yeah.
that you had a bit of a battle, but yeah, well done on P3.
Thanks.
Alrighty then. Then we are gonna move on to Thomas.
Yeah.
And your mic is on share?
Yeah, it's on share.
Good, good. So, first off, quali. You seemed like you pretty much had it in the bag there, but then you did some, well, I don't know what to say, class 1 clownery. Going out on medium tires, in the end costing you pole position too. Any explanation to that?
Well, not really. The enters seemed pretty slippy, so I just thought, why not? So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it was still raining though. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
a gamble is a gamble. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. On the other hand, though, obviously, then starting down in 6th, I believe, in the race, you moved up pretty quickly, and well, just take us through some of your battles then.
Well, it was quite interesting. Some of them they were pretty close, and yeah, well, I feel like I had the pace for P1, definitely, but then I tried to be smart and back James up a bit into Callum, but it didn't really end well.
Well, I guess you can say that, yeah. Something I guess both me and Brandon is wondering about though is what were you doing with your ERS? Because you really did not use it a lot of it in the beginning.
No, I was just trying to keep the tire wear down because I was thinking about not pitting at all and going the whole way. So I was just trying to be quite cautious and save. But yeah, Callum went
Fair.
on to the inters and then he went purple, so I followed him in.
Alright. Well, for the championship then, what are you aiming at right now?
Well, after that race, I would be hoping for top 3, but obviously the winner would be the best.
It usually is. Well, Bran, do you have any questions?
Yeah, this is a question for well, both James and Thomas, but obviously James can answer in a bit. But there's a few laps in the end. you both side by side through Stowe, and into the left-hander, were you just a bit alongside James, and he seemed to push you off. Obviously, you got a 10-second penalty due to that. What's your opinion on what happened there? Do you think it was James' fault, your own fault, or what happened?
I just think it was a racing incident, to be honest. It could have been a bit of his fault or a bit of my fault for being too aggressive, but I'm happy with a racing incident.
Okay, fair enough. Very sportsmanship. Like, back over to you, Sondre.
Alright, well, congratulations on your second place today then, Thomas.
Thank you.
And let's move forward to the man of the hour, James Sands.
Yes.
I'm assuming that your mic is on share.
Yeah, it is. It should be anyway.
Good. So, I know that you went into this season with a clear goal to be fighting for the title, and right now you are starting as good as you can with a first place in this race. So, give us a little take on your race today then.
You know, it was very difficult, especially at the beginning. I couldn't really get settled with the wet conditions, and I had talent breathing down my neck for a couple of laps. But once it sort of started to dry up a bit, I found my rhythm, and then just tried to pull away. But it was very, very difficult there. But yeah, I'm happy with the result.
Alright, fair enough. So, in that battle with Thomas at the end there, though, that lasted for quite a few laps. How nervous was you about the outcome of that?
It's hard to describe really, because at first it was really nerve-wracking, but then as the laps sort of slowly counted down and we were trading positions, I knew I could get the win, but he was going to get desperate and go for some insane moves. So I just sort of had to, you know, place my car in the right position and obviously defend really well going into the closing stages of that race to get the win. But yeah, it's very, very intense.
Alright, great stuff. Well, I just mentioned that I knew that you want to fight for the title this season, but for the team constructor then, obviously the McLarens were also looking like they would be up there with both you and Martin among at least the top 4 today. Fortunately for Martin, he had a crash in the wall and decided to retire, so you're a little behind the Mercs now, but how well do you think you and Martin can do this season?
Personally, I think we can do quite well. We both worked very well together. Today just wasn't his race day, but I'm sure next week he'll pull his A game out and, you know, show everyone what he can do. But yeah, I think sooner or later we will catch the Mercs in the constructors anyway, hopefully.
Alright, great stuff. Any questions from you, Bran?
I mean, same question as Thomas. What was your opinion? What do you think on the
If I'm honest, I didn't really know he was there. I sort of saw the arrow and I thought he backed off, so I moved across. Because when I looked behind, I was ahead of him, so I moved across. I didn't realise he moved with me. Put him onto the grass unintentionally. But yeah, I think it was just a racing incident.
Okay, fair enough. And next track is Austria. What's obviously, like you said, you wanna fight for the title. How are you gonna move around there?
Hopefully, I can do very well. But that's always a tough track, especially on tyre wear as well. But then if you have the weather into the mix, it's going to be very, very tough. But yeah, hopefully McLarens can show what we can do.
Fair enough. Over to you, Sondre.
Great stuff then. Congratulations on the first win of the season, James. Possibly we'll see some more. As for the 2 other drivers on the podium, congratulations to both of you too. and good luck for next week around Austria.
Thanks.
And with that, Bran, it's us then. Any moments of the race you want to point out?
Not really. Right, go on then. You give us your driver of the day, Sondre. Who is your driver of the day?
My driver of the day?
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I mean, James won the race and he did make the most out of the race today. On the other hand, Thomas, he should have been on pole, threw that away, but he managed to claw back up to James and fight him for the win. But today I'm gonna go with James, as he was the winning driver in the end. So that is my driver of the day today.
Fair enough.
What about you, Bran?
I'm gonna do something different. You know, you've given your driver of the day. I'm gonna do a most
Alright.
improved driver, right? And I'm gonna go for Yigamal. You know, last week he was 2 laps down. No offense, he was a bit rubbish. He spawned every 10 seconds. But he finished, I think, P6, P5, something like that. P7, I don't know. He's got points on the board. I think I'll be happy with that. So he's my most improved driver.
Alright, fair enough. Well, with that then, I don't think we have any more to add. So with that, we're gonna end off the stream. And this has been IRL F3 round 1 around Britain. I've been your host, Sondre Sorhaug, been joined by Brendan Glover today. Make sure to like and subscribe for more action. Next race will be next Saturday at 6 PM when we are heading to Austria for IRL F1. And with that, good night, and hopefully we'll see some of you again.